My bad, China. We're here to talk about the big news here. We're here to talk about WB, Warner Brothers. Now. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I can't believe Netflix bought Warner Brothers. What an amazing move. They're now the kings of the entire market.
Uh-huh.
It.
Uh-huh.
Not, not quite yet, my good
Not
friends.
quite.
Don't count your furry, ugly mer children before they hatch, you sons of bitches. We're not there just yet. Warner Brothers Discovery has officially not been sold as of just yet. As a matter of fact, what Netflix was able to do was they made a bid that WB actually liked the bid and actually agreed to have exclusive talks with Netflix. They haven't purchased anything yet. For everybody, once again, and there's a specific reason this news came out just after last Tuesday, so we wouldn't have been on time with it anyway for when we're going to set up to do the actual episode. But even if it hadn't, we here at Orsini's Uncensored Mind, we like to let shit breathe. We don't need to be first. We just enjoy being the best. No, we don't need to be first. And when this news broke, everything copy and pasted. Oh, Netflix brought Warner Brothers. Netflix, they haven't bought shit yet. Even as we speak right now, we're recording this December 9th, it's not purchased. And we just got more. And then this is another reason why you gotta wait it out. You gotta wait it out because Netflix made an offer to Warner Brothers concerning a certain amount of money per share, but the total number of the deal leads us to $82 billion to buy Warner Brothers. But alas, as they used to say in Street Fighter, here comes a new challenger. As we open up Paramount, I'm going to move the banner because it's blocking the actual picture. Paramount is in the hunt. They have outbidded Netflix $108 billion. Suck it. Goddamn Netflix. Dick and balls. Take it all. No choking, no spitting. Enjoy the ride. Paramount is now trying to step in. Now, here's some funny stuff that we need to talk about. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about these specifics. So we're going to do it here on the show because that's what we do. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Absolutely, our fans, the Squad of O, love nothing but absolute fact. So we're going to start with this. I wrote it down, so I'm going to read it out loud. The deal details, okay? This is when it was just Netflix. There might be new information for Paramount, but when Netflix was the one that was announced, they were going to go into exclusive talks. This is what the deal entailed. Acquired assets, meaning what they're getting from Warner Brothers with this purchase. The agreement covers Warner Brothers film and TV studios, the HBO Max streaming service, the HBO network, and intellectual property, including the DC Universe, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones franchises. It's excluding Warner Brothers Discovery cable television networks such as CNN, TNT Sports, and the Discovery channels. They will be spun off into a separate new publicly traded company called Discovery Global. All right, the deal value, as I said before, takes us to approximately $82.7 billion, and the timeline of acquisition is expected to be anywhere from 12 to 18 months. Now, why on earth is it going to take 12 to 18 months for something that both individuals agree on? There's a little thing called market share. And there used to be an enforced law that disallowed businesses from monopolizing in their chosen markets and fields. Now, my brain sometimes don't think good. So I saw a clip. I showed you the clip, or I sent you the clip. I won't play it here because there's some shit on there that I don't want to. That's a get off topic. But when we did the Thanksgiving show, and I had all those when we did the clip of like the roster of people, when we're going over like what if John Cena.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
That we pulled up the website for that, and I got flagged 3-way from Sunday because there was all kinds of shit on there, and it age restricted our segment. So
That's
I had
crazy.
to zoom in more on us, and it worked out for us. So I'm being very, very careful with the websites that we bring on here, and I didn't rip it. But Trump, our good feathered president, orange feathered, stated that he's curious to see how this works out. It's an awful lot of market share. I've been hearing a lot about this all over the news. It's a lot of market share. It's a lot of market share. What the fuck is market share? So for a quick second, I'd like to show y'all some shit that might help you figure out what the fuck market share is and why Netflix being involved with HBO Max is deadly, but why Paramount might actually be a pretty fucking sleazy move. And I mean that in a positive way. So let's pull this up first. Kadoom. I have this pie chart here. And what this is as of June 2025, this is from the Nielsen's company, the old school Nielsen's, who used to keep track of TV ratings. They have a breakdown here how it is that people are consuming their entertainment here. As you can see, streaming is at 46%, broadcast television. If you're still broadcast, bro, seriously, 18.5%. For all you cable holdouts, 23.4%, and there's other means, that's 12%. So damn near half is all streaming. I know that everyone walks around saying, hey, streaming is the wave. Streaming is where it's at. Well, so far, it's only 46%, but I can only assume this number is growing. They broke down here on the side how some of that streaming is broken down. 12% going to YouTube, which I thought it was weird that they included YouTube, but YouTube does have its own.
YouTube
It does
is
have
the
its
king.
own. Yeah, YouTube has its own platform, same as the others. Netflix at 8.3, Disney 4.8, and I'm not going to go all the way down. You guys can figure out the rest of that. Tubi's in there. Tubi's higher than Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I want that on the record because it's going to help us with the conversation moving forward. So I wanted to give you an idea of what this meant. This is technically one big market. Now, each individual, obviously, it's its own market. It's market within a market. But the entertainment aspect, this is it. So I'm going to pull this back now and talk specifically more on just the streaming aspect. And I was able to get a little bit more recent in October. So let's show this. This is the U.S. video streaming market here. All right, I found these. I have the little emblem here on the side, so we shouldn't get in trouble. We should be all right. But here we go. This is as of October of 2025. This is the breakdown. I was surprised to see this, so I did more research. But so far, 22% of the market when it comes to streaming belongs to Amazon Prime Video. Now, at first, I was surprised by that because you see Netflix here. I'm going to take the banner down so we can see that. Max at 13% here, 12% Disney, Hulu at 11%, Paramount at 9%, Apple TV at 7%. This little sliver of shame is Peacock.
So where is WB and YouTube?
Okay, so on this particular chart, it doesn't mention YouTube. That's why when I ran into the other chart, I was very surprised that one did, because all the other ones that I can find didn't include YouTube. That was the only one. So for this,
okay, go ahead.
I think the reason why they don't is because of the type of platform. Yes, YouTube has its own streaming platform, much like all these other ones, but it's also very heavily user-based. These are not user-based services. So I think that's why they separated it. I'm not sure. It's an assumption. I'm no expert, right? So when we look at this chart, though, I was very surprised. I expected Netflix up there. I expected Max. I expected Disney. I did not expect Amazon to be that high. So I looked further into it. And a lot of the reason that people are explaining to me why this number is so high, because it is accurate, but the reason why it's so high, and I feel stupid because I learned about this and I realized, oh, duh. A lot of Amazon Prime are also sold and used on Amazon Fire Stick and televisions. They have their own means, and it's fucking hilarious because I can't turn the camera without fucking it up. I'm in my bedroom as we speak, and my TV is an Amazon He's at Amazon TV. The first thing I did when I got the TV was logged in under my account. So it actually makes a lot of sense because it's easier access when it's already on your fucking TV.
Okay.
A lot of these TVs aren't defaulted to Netflix or Max or Disney. This TV came with Amazon Prime Video. You just had to log in. It was like right fucking there. So I was like, all right, cool. So I was very surprised by that. But here's Netflix at 21%. We already expected that it was the Goliath. Right underneath it is Max, then Disney, then Hulu. Now, another interesting fact about this chart is that Hulu, in and of itself,
is with Netflix, isn't it?
No, it's now owned by Disney.
Disney, that's what it was. Okay,
it's owned by Disney. So I looked at the article that gave me this picture, and they specified that yes, while Hulu is technically owned by Disney, it is still at this current time.
Yes, it's not. It's not still completely integrated with Disney.
Right. Yet. It's still its own streaming service for the moment. So they're still keeping track of it. That's why it's there. But it is owned by Disney. So that 12 and 11 isn't 12 and 11. It's 23. So this right here
puts alone, Disney at 1, Prime at 2, Disney, and Netflix at 3.
Yes, it puts Disney ahead of Netflix. Now, Netflix and Max together, if Netflix goes through with the deal, if they're allowed to go through with the deal as far as market share and the legal stuff it gets involved, that 21 and 30, it starts at 21, it becomes adding 13, 34. That makes Netflix and Disney both above Amazon Prime Video and fighting neck and neck for that top spot because they ate up and gobbled up the other top services.
No, that puts Netflix far ahead.
Well, 34% to 23% on Disney and 22%. Yeah, it puts them at least almost
well ahead.
Yeah, 10% more, right?
Like so Trump said, that's a lot of market share.
That's a lot of market share.
Of a very bad Trump, but you got go with it.
Now here's where I say, in a good way, what a fucking coup. If way down here, over at lonely old 9%, Paramount pulls it off and changes that 9% into a 21%. And 22. Now Paramount, would it be 22? Yes, 22%. This one, Disney was at 23%. Netflix would stay at 21%.
It puts Paramount in the game.
It puts them in the game. They become players now with access to that. And there's one other part of this. I want to pull this back so we can get into our conversation. I immediately thought of you when Netflix made this decision because we sat here and did a whole segment on the CEO of Netflix stating that he feels like movie theaters is like a whole outdated system. That if it were up to him, he wouldn't even bother himself with it. Now, after that segment, me and Steph did a segment where we were very surprised because
did he actually go all the way in by saying he's trying to actually help cinema? If I remember correctly, didn't he say
he says
he's trying
in his own
in some way. I forget exactly what he said, but I remember us talking about it.
I remember it being a very nonsensical answer, but yes, that he was trying to help. He's not really trying to help anybody, or at least that's what we thought, until me and Steph sat down and did the homework and realized that Netflix, out of nowhere, has began integrating their content into movie theaters. When we went to go take Alex to go see K-pop Demon Hunters, and we were trying to buy tickets to Stranger Things, and we can't because it's sold out the very morning that they went on sale. The tickets went on sale like 8 or 9 in the morning. I went in line at 10 o'clock. They were all gone. I'd have to travel to another state in the boondocks where no one lives to go find Stranger Things in a movie theater. Netflix, when people heard that Netflix was going to buy the WB, everyone's first reaction was, well, there goes the movie industry because he's not going to want to put these movies in movie theaters. But Paramount is a movie theater company. They've got absolutely no problem at all putting movies that are being made from that company into the movie theaters. They don't mind at all. They would love the idea of doing both movie theater attractions and streaming site content. There's a vibe right now that Paramount looks right now like the underdog in this. Like they're trying to get into the fight.
But
right now.
if it comes if you're old school and you're worried about market share, Paramount taking it actually is the favorable trade because it keeps it balanced.
If anything, it adds a third leg to that balance. It makes it a little bit more diverse than just the two powers that be. If you include Amazon in that,
three right now because Disney hasn't finished their. Because technically, what's happening to Hulu would, in theory, kind of happen the same way with whoever takes Warner Brothers, right? So, when they do acquire it, it's still going to be its own entity for a little while.
We don't actually know that. There could be some liquidation between departments. I don't. What is it? The company say we're eliminating redundancies. You know, when there's too many people in the same department, all of a sudden now this payroll is getting a little high. It's getting a little tough. It's getting a little tough to explain to the old accountant. So I'm not entirely sure that it's gonna remain its complete own entity. But one of the things, and not to be selfish about it, but one of the things that I thought was hilarious is excluded assets was the television stations, the TNT and the TBS, home of AEW. And AEW right now streams live on HBO Max, which Netflix also has a wrestling show that streams live on Netflix. Not so sure that they would want to keep both, unless, to your point, they kept the two.
The war's not their fucking problem.
No, it's not. But if someone got in the room and was like, we should really start consolidating on genres, and wrestling came on the table.
No. Hold on. Loyalty meets loyalty. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't WWE do something with what was it, ESPN?
Yeah, they're on ESPN for their
correct. PLEs. Isn't that with Disney?
Yes, it is.
So then why the fuck can't I take AEW then?
I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying
you're not loyal to me. So why am I gonna cut something? You know what I mean?
Well, hold on, because it's not really. Is it really a disloyalty situation when the
absolutely not? Which is why I'm curious why you mean if they were to get TNT, you know what I mean? Like
if they were to get Max, why would they cut AEW?
Yeah, okay, that's what you said. Yeah,
that's what I said. Because here's the thing: I don't think they have to do anything. Shit, if Netflix wants to take AEW Dynamite and move it to Wednesday on their programming, and just say fuck it, I'll do 2 shows, one on Monday, one on Wednesday. Nothing can stop them from doing that.
Absolutely.
But I have a sneaking suspicion that if I'm Nick Khan, I head over to Netflix's office and be like, you don't need that program. We got plenty of program. You want a Wednesday show? Throw NXT on there. Throw AAA on there. Throw TNA on there. We got plenty of programming. You don't need AEW. Why would you want to pay them rights fees when you're already paying us rights fees and we have all the we can fill that quota alone. You don't have to pay twice, just pay the one time.
It's not your fucking business. It's not your business why I want to.
It's not, but once,
why are you paying them? Why are you paying ESPN? Why are you giving them leverage?
Because that's what leverage. But again, Netflix negotiated for Raw. It's
okay.
They didn't negotiate for everything else, so they have no hand in the everything else. It would be like if you were to reverse that, right? Like I just said, if Nick,
I was going to say, I can say the same thing going the other direction,
right? But if I was to flip it and say, okay, you're right, I don't have to pay them rights fees for the other show, and you have plenty of content. But if that was the case, why didn't you offer me the content from the get-go?
Exactly.
And we could have just worked out a deal. Right. Which, if I'm Nick Khan, I go, okay, because you paid X amount of dollars for Raw and to pay for the PLEs, SmackDown, NXT, AAA, TNA, it would have cost you this much. Ooh, I don't want to pay that much. I'll just stick to Raw then. Fuck it. Unless that number is so high that it's actually feasible to still keep AEW on their programming. Because that's another thing. If I'm Netflix or Paramount for that matter, from anybody, do I liquidate Max at all or just keep Max?
Why would you get rid of Max? It's the
Like
third
as a
high
service. Yeah.
But it's the third. It's one of those things like if you were to buy Nathan's hot dogs,
Right.
you wouldn't change the name Nathan Hot Dog. It's a staple. You would leave it. You would own it. It'd be different owners, but you would still leave the name because people know the name. You're not going to change it to something. You're just restarting branding for no fucking reason.
That's if you're a smart businessman. Because I have seen some people take fucking, okay, this worked. And so now I own it now. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to make it more me. So how about this? I can see someone going, it's Nathan and Tom's.
Yeah, but we're talking juggernauts who understand data and algorithms. I don't take them as stupid.
I can't even go that far because you and I sat here with, like, for instance, the management or the administration of TKO, the guys who work over at Endeavor, billionaires with a B. They own everything. They have no idea what's happening below their little castle and what's happening in the fringes and in the, who fucking knows? Remember, we just had the conversation about, well, we want to change the PLE names, except for by the way, we were going to talk about this last week, but we missed it, about the TikTok comments. On one of the clips when we were talking to,
that's right.
I think it was the one where I was saying that I would have a hard time being negotiated off of the Big Four. Like, I'm open to the other names, but the Big Four would kind of would mess me up if it wasn't the Big Four anymore. And someone wrote in the comments, they already announced that they weren't going to change the Big Four. And I was like, really? And I looked it up. That they said that after our shit aired. So it's like, we didn't know that at the fucking time. So, okay, that's fair, right? But on that initial reaction, right? That was one of the things that we said. You'd have to be a fool to take something like as an example, WrestleMania, and go, okay, we own it now. We can call it whatever we want. Let's just erase that from the board and put whatever you want. It's like, you'd have to be an idiot. In this current situation, I didn't think that this was going to be something that happened at all. I think everything's on the table.
That's fair.
I could see them leaving it as its own entity, even leaving the crew. Like, leave it the way that it is because it's working properly. We just own it now, which means we're getting all the proceeds and all the money that's made from it now comes into us, filters into us, and we get to make decisions either creatively or functionally as a business as far as how it's going to be ran. It's also now going to be incumbent on the owning company, whether it be Netflix or Paramount. Now we have to start thinking about branding and marketing, because that was the issue with HBO Max. It went from HBO Max. So when somebody posted a picture, it's like, this is great branding. And they showed the first logo, HBO Max. Then it showed the logo of when it became Max. Then it showed the logo of when it went back to HBO Max, and now it just says Netflix. So it's like the new logo for HBO Max, Netflix. So it's like they had a branding and a marketing issue before, which is probably how they wound up in this position in the first place. But now it's going to be incumbent on the new owners to figure out how they're going to do that. Yeah. Disney figured that out fast. They immediately started rolling out commercials. I couldn't go anywhere, even on the app itself, of now you can get the whole package of Disney, Hulu, and ESPN together, which is ironic because ESPN wasn't on that list at all. It's not a. I downloaded the ESPN app the day that I bought it so that I could look for the pay-per-view. I never touched it again, and I got rid of it because the only thing on there is either live sports, which is ironic because most of the sports that are live on the ESPN app are not the sports that I want to watch because they don't have the fucking rights to them. I gotta go to Amazon to see my goddamn basketball games. I gotta go to fucking Peacock sometimes has football games. Amazon sometimes has football games too. But like it's all over the place. All the sports are on all different streaming.
And wrestling's in a weird ass category halfway down the screen, off the screen. You gotta like scroll over to find it. I forget what category it's under. But the one thing that is, I mean, I guess that's unfair to say, but like I can find collegiate wrestling before I can find the WWE wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if your whole purpose of doing a deal with WWE is to, I mean, say what you want, give props when it's due. When Peacock got WWE, they made it an exclusive tab for it. It was very easy to find, locate, and it was all concise within its own section.
Yeah.
There was no getting lost. This shit, it took me like 10 minutes to fucking find it.
Like, the only time that I really find it is when it's already on live. Because then it's part of that.
Because it's part of the right.
Yeah,
but I went afterwards, and it's like
if it's not live, you got to go looking for it
off the screen.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's not there.
insane.
Yeah.
It's like genres or some weird shit. It was something weird. I don't know. You're not really trying to push your new thing if that's what you're fucking doing.
Your new favorite toy. So yeah, there's a lot of talk about the market share and what this will do. There's a lot of people right now. A lot of people that I'm not qualified to talk against.
Be careful. You're gonna get fined.
It's an opinion-based story.
Tell you what, put a pin on this. Go to college. Then we'll talk about it.
Learn economics and
I can't talk because I'm not going to fucking college. But you are a very determined person.
This is my second time in college. I'm not doing
out of spite. You do that shit. So yes, go ahead.
Just to be petty.
I'll fucking wait.
Oh man. So yeah, that's basically the conversation we wanted to have about Netflix and their role and everything.
And we'll stay on this shit too because this is
it's not done.
This is not done. I'm actually on the edge of my seat here.
As a person who has a Max subscription, I'd like to see how this ends. I want to know where my money's headed.
Hey, look, what if Netflix now it's all rolled into Netflix now? One subscription?
Man. They're still gonna raise the price.
Oh, they'll raise the price. But they're not gonna raise it $13.
Oh,
I mean, how much is Max? $20 for the good one?
I paid yearly, so I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
Oh, fucking well, sorry, brokey thoughts. My bad.
I bought it for the 12 months, so I don't know.
That's the way to do it.
I haven't set it and forget it.
Am I right?
Yeah. Just take your money and get out of my way. I want to scroll.
That's it.